When I start shooting, all y'all gonna clear out.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So today we're going to be looking at this match that happened between Arslan and Atif. I was told by this tweet that Atif defeated Arslan 3-0 in winners final in the tournament using BRYAN. Arslan was playing Nina. And then Arslan reached grand finals through losers bracket, and Atif defeated him again. Now, Atif's BRYAN Fury is one that we kind of like became aware of earlier into what's it called, the year, because you know, the whole Arslan versus Knee, you know, Nina's better, BRYAN's better, Anna's better, right? And then people were saying, like, how do the Pakistani players know that BRYAN's the best in the game if none of them play BRYAN? And then surprise, surprise, this is when Atif shows up, and his BRYAN Fury is not only deadly, but like he's going crazy, right? And people were blown away by it. But you know the thing as well, when that first happened, it was not a actual tournament, and was one of those like events that they do. Like, I think it was Pakistan versus Saudi event where Atif was going crazy, and people were kind of riding it off. They was like, "Lol, do it in a real tournament." You know how people are. They always they would rather write you off instead of giving you your props, right? And then I think we've seen his BRYAN Fury a couple of times here and there, but still, it wasn't like it. People still just don't give him props, right? So now we have here where he's actually playing BRYAN Fury, like in the tournament, real deal, grand finals against Arslan on Arslan's main, and he wins. So analyzing this and talking about this is going to be crazy. You can see that he's already up around. He was putting hands on Nina, and then he was able to come back. Let's unmute it. Okay, hopefully that's not... Okay, I think the audio's fine, right? That sounds fine. Rage art. I want to see this next round, which is why we have 30 plus ranks. BRYAN Fury is a really interesting character. You know what I will say about BRYAN Fury? Even though BRYAN Fury is considered to be one of the strongest characters in the game, I kind of do like fighting him. It's different from like Anna. Anna is a strong character, but I just dislike the idea of that character. The character is like stances, the character is like 50-50s. BRYAN Fury does have some of that, but the way that I feel is he's like a traditional Tekken character. His frames are strong, his pressure's strong, but like when I fight against a BRYAN Fury, I don't feel like I'm being put into a constant stand situation where I have to guess, you know? And I'm much more like that style of Tekken. This is why I also like fighting Claudio a lot. I'd rather fight Claudio, you know, over like a Raven or a Leo, even though Claudio's way stronger than both of those characters. But it's in my opinion, it's just a matter of how, like, it's just the play style. The stance 50-50 mix up, you know, risk, zero reward, or zero risk, all the reward gameplay style is just not something that I'm here for. So I kind of, and I think this is why people also still kind of like watching BRYAN Fury, because with BRYAN Fury, he still is a difficult character. He still has like a lot of real elements to him. He's not just like going through stances and like on training wheels, right? You actually see the BRYAN, like that taunt cancel, you actually see the BRYAN Fury display something of value, you know? Nina does too, but Nina is kind of weird. Nina, she's not like an autopilot stance character like Anna, like some of the other stance characters. She does kind of fight straight up, but I guess you would say she's more in the ballpark of BRYAN Fury, where it's just like her frames and, like, you know, on hit and whatnot, and damage, that's like really crazy. But she's not really like doing stances like that either. I just don't fight that much of Nina to like form a real opinion of the character. I really don't fight that much of her. When I fight a Nina, I think I win. I don't really like remember getting stomped out by this character, so it's hard to, like, you know, say anything. But so far, Atif is destroying, right? BRYAN Fury got some crazy counter hit tools. It's interesting, like certain characters lost their counter hit launchers, and then certain characters like kept them. And I wonder what's the idea was behind it, right? Some of the counter hits been turned in. So, like, for example, Yoshimitsu's forward 1+2, his old forward 1+2 was made into a launcher, right? Counter hit launcher in Tekken 7. But then in Tekken 8, they removed it. And they gave him the forward 1+2 he has nowadays. Now. And I don't know, I just wonder what was the idea behind it. He went downstairs. That's interesting. Usually pros opt for like damage. You see what I mean? He went downstairs and dropped that. That's why pros usually don't go downstairs. They just do a normal wall combo and they try to break the floor with Oki. He literally lost. Exactly. That's why I was surprised he did it, because he it's unreliable. That when you break the floor, it changes, one, your damage output, and two, it changes the pushback on your move. And it's something that you're not going to be used to. You can't be used to the pushback unless your character has broken like wall travel. Then you could just do whatever you want, right? But not every character can do that from every situation. That's why a lot of people don't break floors. And this is the difference between like pro level and like average level. Average level, they try to break the floors at every scenario, but pros, they only do it when they know it's not going to affect their damage and whatnot. That was a good crouch by Arslan. What's interesting too about this matchup is that these two guys fight each other all the time. They're training buddies, you know. And this matchup, they probably played it like 1,000 times, literally. So when you play someone that long, you can't even, because you know how like when people play teammates, people are like, oh, do the opposite of what you normally do to throw your teammate off. They are beyond that point. You can't do that. Like the level that they're playing at, bro, the whole like I'm gonna do this thing that I never done before is like they've done that like 30 times already. Now they're just really just playing like normal and just trying to win, you know. You can only do that like I'm gonna do the opposite thing for so long, you know. When you play against someone as much as they do, it doesn't work. Like I seen they were streaming on Twitch before this event, and I seen that Atif was playing Lily. That was a good launch. I seen Atif was playing Lily against Farzine's Marizu, and they were doing like a 1st to 10, and that's what they were doing the whole stream. It's just 1st to 10s. So it's like when you're battling like they are, you just gotta win through skill. The Pakistani players, bro, they're not winning on no fluke. They're not winning on no gimmicks. They're not winning on no. They're winning by just like pure talent, you know, just pure like I'm better. That's why they're so good. You're not gonna survive in that world on gimmicks and like, you know, let me do the opposite. No, you see the way that they're launching each other. They're launching each other every string, every move, every bop 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 bop. You know, they're like, and you know what I like about the Pakistanis as well is how fast they play. They play so fast. You know, like that was incredible what Arslan did right there. They play so fast. We all, and I said this story plenty of times before, but I will say it again because it just blows my mind, bro. The Pakistani players, they were known in Tekken 7 as defensive powerhouses. How can you get past their defense? Nee once said the only way to beat Arslan is to confuse him, mix him up. So when we heard that Tekken 8 was a fast-paced mix-up game, we were like, oh yeah, Arslan and the Pakistanis are cooked. But those guys adapted far greater than anyone, and I would argue that they play true Tekken 8. The Koreans and Japanese, they play with the mix-ups and whatnot, but they're afraid to take risks. In Korea and Japan, they don't really take risks like that. They play safe. Pakistan, they will go for that huge mix-up. They will go for that wow factor moment. They will do it, and this game is perfect for that. When you play fast pace and you're going through all of these stances, that was crazy. Look at that. That was incredible. When you play fast pace like them, you could do stuff like that. They're displaying a level of skill that like is rare. And it's just normal. It's just normal for them. Crouch, launch, punish. I've never seen no one do that to Nina ever. And Atif's over here making it look easy. Atif's in winner's side, huh? Winner's side because he put Arslan through losers. So if Atif kill with this combo, which I don't think it will. If there was a wall, it probably would. But if he wins this, then Arslan will have one more game to try to make something happen, right? This is just pure domination, though. Look at that. That's some complete mastery of the matchup. That string crouch under immediate punish, that's something that you get through, like, you know, just like an endless amount of practice, you know? Practice isn't like these guys first attending and battling each other. It is interesting how Atif has grown as a player, you know? Arslan was like the #1 untouched, but we're seeing Atif rise up and rival him. When you talk about all of the different players and how they stack up, it is pretty crazy how, like, the Pakistanis seem to be untouchable, but then at times they do get touched by, like, Ulsan, you know? Ulsan has won both EWCs. That is crazy, you know? But then you have Arslan win 2 Evos. Who won Evo Japan? Was it Knee or was it someone else? I think it was Knee. They seem so undefeatable, but it's just moments where things don't go their way. But I kind of feel like that's the tournament lifestyle, though. Tournaments, bro, it's like you can't predict everyone's that's there. Like we saw Arslan year 1 of Tekken 8 almost lose to the King player and the Yoshi player, both from NA. You know, people say NA are scrubs, but it's just the sheer like number of people who show up to these tournaments, and they all have their own different type of play style, their own different type of people do different things when they panic. You know, I panic flash. Another Yoshimitsu may do something different. You know, and it's those kind of things that like can catch you off guard in the first to 2, you know. And this is why Arslan was pushing for tournaments to be made first to 3 and first to 5 and stuff like that, right? Now, of course, every tournament can't do that, but the tournaments that can, I believe EWC are doing it, right? I also think they should do something like that for the Tekken World Tour Finals. Screw the round robin format and screw all the other stuff. Like, let's get some first to 5 going. But also, is that what people want? I don't know. This is a great match, though. These two are really like showcasing. If you were a Bryan Fury and a Nina player, I would be studying this gameplay like crazy, because they're showing like perfect counterplay. They're showing perfect play in general. Like they're, you know, excellent mix-ups, excellent pressure, excellent Oki. Like, this is the pinnacle of Tekken. This is the pinnacle. And what I really like about this as well, because both of these, like I said before, right, both of these guys have played a lot. This specific matchup we're looking at right now, so you're seeing like the best counterplay you will ever see. Like ever. Like there's probably not 2 level of pros at their level who's played as much as these two. And that's what I think people don't realize. People don't realize how like how rare a thing it is that Atif and Arslan are here, you know. So this should be the final round. That was a good while standing punish. Whenever someone is doing a while standing punish, that's when you know they know your character. That's like the most scariest thing you can see, is someone do while standing forward punish. While standing forward punish is insane, bro. That means they really know, like, you know. Sidestep. Oh, Arslan didn't believe in that sidestep. Sidestep. Oh, crouch jab. Crouch jab is, whoa, big miss input. Crouch jab is becoming something infamous in Tekken 8. Pros are really tapping into that move like crazy. We got to get average level players to understand that move as well. Some crouch jabs. It's a good tool. Difficult to understand though. Both got heat smash. Who's going to heat smash first? There it is. Down to the wire. Wow. Oh yeah, whiff punish. Whiff punish. Yeah. You know Atif's going to kill that move. That was an intense match. Matches like that is